Hello and welcome back to the home podcast, the isolated version. We're back again for, I don't even know what episode number this is now because I'm not going to number them because I'm going to record them and then put them out when I want. Podcast, vodcast, you can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Podbean, you can find us on iTunes. We're all there. We're talking to people that have been affected by the isolation situation in the UK now with COVID-19 or the coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. And I'm trying to talk to people that I know that have been affected by it. So that includes musicians, comics, friends, family, all that sort of stuff. Today, I have got Emma Buckley, who is a musician from Derby. So she's going to join us in a second. So welcome along, Emma. Hello, Emma. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
She's fine. We've been working out her Skype for so long. It's been unbelievable. So you're all right? You're in Derby at the moment, Emma, on your own?
I am. Yeah.
Isolated?
On my Todd at the minute. Well, my mum, my mum lives with me, actually, but...
That's a very different definition, isn't it?
But she's a key worker in the NHS, so I've got to be careful.
Oh,
I've got to respect her because she's going to be paying.
I know, yeah, she is definitely. Oh my God, she's a proper key worker. Yeah. Your mum's a proper.
Oh yeah. She's.
So you're like properly having to isolate then.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, she's not in a clinical position, so
right.
She's not. She's in public health and she works in antenatal screening and she's sort of like a immunization coordinator, so she is in the mix of all that, but she's dealing with pregnant women.
Oh, that's even worse though. I think that's harder because she's having to deal with all that situation of it. Oh, they're pregnant during this time because my wife's friend at work, his wife is pregnant, and he's like, he's due in a week, 2 weeks, and it's like if he has a baby, her mum and dad won't be able to come and see the child until after this has all happened, which is crazy.
It's proper crazy. But she's actually in the sort of admin-y office side of things, so she's not having a lot of contact at the minute with patients. So I'm all right.
You're okay, but you're not able to do anything. What are you doing with your life, Emma, at the minute? Because you're a musician in Derby, normally out most nights of the week. I'd say I see you're out and about performing somewhere.
Yeah.
So what are you doing now?
Nothing. No. No. So to be fair, I'm a bit of a workaholic. So as you say, I do a million gigs, and I also run music workshops for disadvantaged children.
Brilliant.
In the day.
Yeah.
So I have for a while now been doing 2 jobs and quite full time. So I was about ready for a break. I just didn't expect it to be this sudden.
You're the second person that said that to me. There was another comment that said I was going to give stand-up a break for a bit, but I didn't want it to be like this. I wanted to go out on my own terms.
Yeah, so I didn't expect it to be this sort of sudden forced break.
Yeah.
But obviously as a freelance teacher and a freelance musician, both of my streams of income have stopped suddenly because even as a teacher, as much as the disadvantaged children are actually still going to school, a lot of them, I'm just not a necessary or key worker in that sense.
They'd use a normal teacher, not normal German. They'd use like full-time teachers rather than a freelance teacher.
I'm only a specialist in music, so technically I'm not a teacher because I'm not a qualified teacher. I'm a music practitioner, so I go in and I only do music workshops. So I just sing and teach them instruments all day long. And as much as that would be fun and boost morale, it would be another, bigger risk to have another body unnecessarily in the school. So currently, I'm out of both lines of work.
Have you tried?
But
Have you tried doing it like Skype? Have you tried that sort of stuff?
Not Skype. This is my first Skype experience, but I've tried. So basically, I've tried. I've done like the live streaming side of things with my guitarist Matt. Last night we did a bit of a show.
I saw that online. Yeah, I saw that live online. That was good.
Yeah, that was really good. The Sunday sessions I was just talking to you about briefly. I'm still hosting that as a kind of virtual open mic now. So it's more of a watch party, and everybody who's been involved in the event submits their set,
So
15-minute
like
set. I
pre-recorded or recorded there and then,
yeah,
that sort of thing.
no, well, yeah, sort of pre-recorded, but they kind of submit it on the day. I all together and make it into one big long open mic, as it were, and then all the artists like tune in, and then all their fans tune in, and we all get to talk to each other as if we were at the pub type thing. And we're all like you and I are now. It's the same sort of thing. So that there's a screen and then the stream of conversation.
Oh right,
so it's quite nice.
Are you in the stream as well, or are you just commenting on? Is that how you host it? You go do through the comments.
Just commenting. Yeah, just commenting. Great. So it's cool because everyone's like, oh my God, this is just like being at the pub, because while someone's singing, we're all having a chat. And obviously you don't feel that rude, but they've pre-recorded it and they're in the chat too, talking to you. So it's quite nice. Music's happening, but we're still getting to have the conversation. So it's it was important to me to have a sort of sociable aspect to it.
I'll have to add you as well. There's another place that I'm dealing with at the minute called the Virtual Pub.
Oh, amazing!
And they're looking for musicians and people to play like live on Facebook.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that everybody's kind of adapting so quickly, and unfortunately, it's not income based because nobody's got any money. As fun as it is and as nice as it is, I'm under no illusion that I can't just sit behind my laptop and make music and do fun things forever.
Yeah.
But for this, I finished work on Friday when the kids finished school. Obviously, gigs cancelled a couple of weeks before that. So really, I've only been out of work 4 days, so I need to calm down a little bit. But
it's the same as me. I was exactly the same when all the gigs dried up. Like the second day after, I was like, "Oh, that's the third gig. That's the third gig cancelled this week. I'm gonna die." And I was like, it was horrible for like 2 days. And I was like, right, work something out, John. Decide and just get your content out online. Because it's gonna finish eventually, and if you can get out online like we all are trying to do, like you are with everything with the live gigs and that, get out, and then people will remember you when it comes back to normal again.
Exactly. Do you know what? It's the only thing you can do, and do something a bit different, and do something a bit innovative. And just try. Everybody's kind of, especially with music. You'll know this with comedy as well, but sooner or later everybody's going to be doing that, and it's how do you remain relevant? How do you remain interesting?
It's being first and also being different.
Yeah. So I've started a show with the show we did with Matt. We literally just called it the Not So Late Show because obviously everybody's got kids on the street. We can't be doing gigs at like 11 o'clock and upsetting everybody who's trying to put their kids to bed because they're all at home. So we were like, well, it's going to be at whatever time we want in the day because no one's at work. So maybe we'll call the Not So Late Show because it's like it's a spin-off of the American sort of TV show. And so that's kind of where we're going with that. And there's going to be a few other like interviews and little bits and bobs, funny, just anecdotes that happen.
You and Matt together? Is that still going to happen now, or are you going to have to try and do it a different way?
This is the thing. So because I'm not very good at doing things on my own. These musicians that can sit there and just... I
noticed by the way we had to set Skype up, I'm going to be honest, Emma.
I'm just not. It's not even that, though. Do you know, even when I have to play a gig on my own, I'm like, no, I just pay someone else to come and play with me so I've got a friend. Because there's that, I really bounce off...
You perform, like you open for like other big musicians on your own, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I do, but... often I'll take somebody with me to sing backing vocals or play guitar, or I'll have a band, or I'll do an open mic where there's loads of people there and someone will jump up and sing with me. So loads of people actually know backing vocals to my songs because I'm constantly going, come and sing with me. So do you know what I mean? So even though they're all my songs and it is all my project and stuff, it's kind of, I'm going to turn silent. It's, I have much more fun bouncing off somebody, and I'm going to find that really difficult, I think. What did I say?
I have much more fun bouncing off somebody, which just in my mind sounds really rude.
That's in your mind, John, not mine. That says more about you. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, we'll skip over.
Creatively bouncing. Oh gosh. But yeah. So I'm going to find it difficult because I'm not very good at being on my own, really.
Have you ever lived on your own? No.
No.
I've never lived on my own. I've always lived in like house shares and stuff like that. So
Yeah, same because I've either been at uni or in London. Who lives on
I
their own
know
in
you
London?
can't live on
Nobody.
your own. I was really scared because I've come back, so I'm now back in Mansfield. I was really scared of
Yeah.
getting stuck down there, so I came back a week earlier than anything that really happened. I was thinking it's going to lock down. We're going to get told we can't move out.
Yeah.
I can't go anywhere, so I came back a week early.
And it's bad. It's bad in London, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's pretty. It was
Right.
weird when I was coming out. Like it's
Really?
empty. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like train stations are empty. There wasn't as many like cars on the road. There wasn't people on the buses. It's weird when it's normally crammed, and it was just like
Yeah, I've got loads of friends in London that have obviously from living there, and then a lot of my creative friends from uni moved down there. So I have sort of kept a little bit up to date with what's been going on, and they're just like Emma, it's
yeah, it's just
peak.
mental. I've seen it all on Facebook. It's just like really weird situation.
Yeah, and there was like those aerial views. Did you see them
No,
of London yesterday? So when Borough kind of going into lockdown, the lockdown phase, as it were.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just like aerial view of London as we enter the lockdown, and it was just like really depressing because the whole of London was just
there's nobody anywhere. There's
empty,
no people on the streets.
nobody anywhere.
Fucking crazy. It is mental.
Crazy, but maybe, hopefully, it won't last
How,
too
how are
long.
you getting on with that? So obviously, have you been isolating for a while? So you've been off work since Friday. So it's not that long, is it really?
Been off work since Friday, and then I was at my partner's house. But he lives with his
Yeah,
mum, who's now isolating away from her partner, who because they live separate,
yeah.
opposite each other. So normally, my boyfriend lives with his mum, but he's always on tour, so he just comes home and stays a couple of nights, and
And
then
then he
he did rent
disappears.
his own place, but it was we were both renting our own places, and it was just a big waste of money. So my mum and I got a house together, and his mum's got a house that he kind of like stayed in. And yeah, now she's isolating there 24/7. Her partner's at risk. He's got loads of underlying health issues, so he's isolating. And I was just like, if I'm in contact still with
Yeah,
kids and my mum going to the hospital, I just was like, I don't want to put
at
anybody
risk. Yeah,
at risk. So I came back home yesterday, and was just like, look, yeah, let's just,
live apart.
yeah, just for
12
a bit
weeks.
because. Yeah, but he's always away and I'm always
Yeah, so it's
away,
not
so
different.
we
This
kind
is
of
what
used to
someone was saying. Well,
this.
this is what is different for me because I'm always living away, but now I'm back,
Mm.
and I'm back 24/7.
So your wife just like,
Yeah, well, she's not actually. My wife's really, really like. She's been really supportive about how I've been because I've been a bit mental. I'll be honest, I've been a bit mental because I start to get stir crazy if I can't gig. That's
we do,
always been my
don't we?
thing.
That's like our
Yeah,
release.
definitely. And
I said the other day, I'm never going to whinge about having to sing Proud Mary in a pub ever again.
is that the one song you always get told to sing?
Yeah, well, there's just a few that get requested, and I'm not doing this
That's
anymore.
it. But
Like,
now,
kind of go home and have a little
first gig back, you'll
tantrum.
be like, I want to sing Proud Mary. I'm going to show exactly how good it
And
is. 10
times.
times.
Yeah, because you kind of get a little bit, you forget how lucky you are, and you forget. I think everybody must be in this boat right now. You kind of go, oh, wow, we really took that for
Yeah, oh,
granted.
definitely. I'm sat here thinking now, do you know, like it's when they start using words like your mum, key workers. I'm not a key worker at all. A comedian is like what a court jester. I'm not a key worker in any way, shape, or form. What my job was a massive, like I just took it for granted about how great it was to do what I did.
Yeah, and I think as well, like my mum's always said, Emma, because I've always felt like a little bit like that. Oh, should I be, I'm not earning enough, or maybe
Yeah,
it's irresponsible to keep, doing music and I'm working loads of hours and not, seeing that much reward financially, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of think maybe I should do something better, with my skills. And she always says, Emma, if it wasn't for people like you, people like us wouldn't be able to do our job because
Yeah,
we
that's
wouldn't be.
very true.
And she kind of comes to all of my gigs and makes sure
Yeah,
that she's really active at the theatre, and because their jobs are so depressing, and
they
it
need a
can
release.
be.
They
And
need a release, and they need something to do with the money
yeah,
they're earning.
exactly, exactly. So she always kind of says, "Don't stop doing what you're doing, or people like me won't have anywhere
Yeah,
to to kind of let go a little bit and release. And if we didn't do that, then we'd be no use to anybody." And also, I think a lot of people envy creatives as much as we envy stability.
yeah,
So
that's so true. That is so true. I envy the fact that my wife is still getting paid because she's working from home, so she's got a proper job,
yeah,
whereas I've got nothing coming in other than what I can try and generate online with whatever. But I'm not going to generate anything like what I was generating before.
no,
But then I'm not
I'm
travelling as much either, so I'm not spending as much money on.
not spending as much. And I just think as well, I spoke to Radio Derby this morning, and Sally Pepper's kind of going, "How stressed are you, Emma? What's going on? And this is your job." And I said, "You know what? I am stressed, but think about it. I'm not homeless. I'm not going to starve.
Yeah,
I've got family and friends around me and supporters, and even fans. Like last night, Matt and I were on the live stream. I think we made about 50 quid just by
yeah,
sitting and it's 50 quid. I mean, come on, it's not going to move mountains, but it's better than a.
exactly. I mean, we did it on. What did we do? So on Sunday night there was 4 comedians. We did a live gig to. There was on the live stream there was 150 people at maximum, and then we never dropped below 100. We all walked away with £70 because we had a donation
Amazing.
bucket. So we walked away with 70 quid.
Amazing.
And then I was like, well, then my car insurance came out the next day, but that meant that paid my car insurance. So I haven't got to worry about my car insurance for another month now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's,
which is perfect.
yeah, which is exactly how it should work. So that's fine.
And people who are still getting paid still want to have that release and still want that outlet and still, want to spend their money and help.
Not everyone
and
can just sit at home and watch Netflix.
no.
They want to
And it
actually have
really,
something where it's kind of like an interaction, but it's not quite the same. But it's
yeah.
close
And
enough.
I was a bit like, oh, everyone's doing it. I'm not going to do that because no one wants to hear me sing the same songs
Yeah,
that I
but your
sing at the
fans
pub.
do.
But they do.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. And they're just like, Emma, this is amazing. And we had about 100
Yeah,
people on the
I mean,
live
how
stream.
amazing is that? I mean, how many times? I mean, I know you probably have, but how many times when you're doing like an open mic or whatever, do you have 100 people watching you?
Not a captive
No,
audience
exactly.
like
So
that.
this is what I mean. We had 150 people. That's a big gig for a comedian, really, unless you're an arena comic doing theatres.
Same for a musician as well. It's
150
mental.
people is a mental amount of people. So it's more than you play to at Edinburgh. Do you know what I mean? So it's amazing.
Yeah, I think we've just got to keep positive and keep going. And the more creative that people, because people keep saying to me, I keep going, oh, I'm going to have to go and get a job. I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do that. And for the time being, at least for the next couple of weeks, I'm just going to enjoy not having to do anything, but just be creative and do the normal things that people do on a weekend at home that I've been
Isn't it
whinging
weird
about.
that we've now got time?
I'm like, oh, I can do a bit of DIY.
Exactly.
I can do a bit of gardening.
Amazing.
You know what I
It's just
mean?
like all this stuff
One
that
of these
all of a
things
sudden
that
was being put off. Or I'll do it the weekend. Oh no, I've got a gig on Saturday. I can't do it. Or whatever. Now it's like I've got all the time in the world to do it.
this weekend was probably the first weekend I've had off and not had, not been
Yeah.
away or not had anything planned. 3 years, maybe.
I'm pretty the same. Yeah.
And
Other
it's
than when
just
I've been on
like,
holiday, when I've had a
yeah,
holiday.
exactly. Apart from when I've been away,
Yeah.
3 years I've not had, and I was a bit like, oh, I can catch up with family and give them.
I felt weird on Friday night when it happened, but then by Saturday I was like, oh, this is quite nice.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
And you're just going, this is what normal people
this is
do.
what normal people with 9
on
to
a
5 jobs
weekend.
do. What are they doing?
This is why they look forward to the
Yeah,
weekend.
exactly. Whereas we're just looking forward to going out and, for me, performing for 20 minutes and driving for 2 hours. That's pretty much what my Friday and Saturday nights are.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my weekends are kind of, I gig in the day and in the evening as well. So it's just about, I just put out fires, basically.
Yeah.
I'm just like, it's just high high stress, fitting everything in. And Mondays are nice. I always have Mondays off,
Yeah.
and sometimes I have Tuesdays, but most of the time I'll teach Tuesday to Friday as well. So come Friday night, I'm just ready to sleep anyway. And then I've got to do Friday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, and Sunday
Yeah,
night.
exactly. That's it. And that's why you have Monday off, you see.
But now I've got 7 days a
Every
week
day
off.
off. You're not even going to work.
How are you? Quick question for
Yeah.
you. Are you, because I watched your podcast with Thomas. Very funny.
Thank you.
Enjoyed it.
Good. Oh,
Very
thanks,
much
Emma.
enjoyed it. I know I did. I really liked it. And I saw that you are on Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon. How'd you say
Patreon.
it? Patreon. Does that work for you? Like, is that a good?
It's not as well. It's all right. I've got a couple. Do you know what I mean? I'm not many, but I've got under 10. I've got under
That's
10
the
patrons.
Yeah,
But
that's good. So people, because I was saying to Radio Derby this morning, like, if the best thing that people can do to support musicians and self-employed is, if you're a business that's getting a grant that used to employ self-employed people or freelancers, just put money aside maybe to kind of take into consideration that these people are literally
that's
getting
very true.
nothing.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, because I mean, I know for me, there's at least 4 bars, say it's a chain, that haven't paid my invoices because they're freezing them because
they're not open.
Because they're not open, so they've gone, oh, actually, never mind the work that you've done
See,
from
that's wrong.
January to now.
We've done quite well as
Yeah.
comedians, as in we've been well, I have anyway. I can't talk for everyone, but I've been paid for everything that I've done previous.
Yeah, see, I haven't. But I feel like the best thing that they can do as a business is kind of, because their reason was that, oh, well, we're freezing all our payments to protect our employers. And I would say, my reply was, that's fair enough, but please take into consideration that, I've worked with you as a supplier for 3 years.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am an employer because I've provided you with a service
Yeah.
for 3 years, just like your other employers have. Just because I'm self-employed, because I'm a live music or entertainment service, I'm not a limited company. I'm not a big supplier. I don't have, I don't have overheads and I don't have staff, but it means that this is my sole income.
And that's gone now.
That invoice that you're not going to pay is a month's rent for me. Whereas a lot of your employees maybe haven't even worked a year in your company, because I know a lot of them, they're students or they live with parents.
It is wrong. It's wrong that they're not paying what they already owe, basically.
Yeah.
But that's because like a lot of people, they live invoice to invoice.
Yeah.
So your money's not, the money they pay you isn't coming from the gig you've done. It's coming from what they've earned over the next couple of days.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it works. Whereas that's
Yeah.
wrong. It should really be the money that they earn on the night that you're there.
Exactly.
Should be available on the night.
Yeah.
Which is an argument again for the fact that you should get paid on the night and not a 30-day invoice.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and
we all get paid in different ways. Backs, cash, whatever.
All sorts, but I think it's a real kind of eye-opener. It is definitely for me anyway, of just really clamping down on that, and I hope that even like for yourself with sites and subscription services like Patreon, and also things like PayPal, and I'll say to Radio Derby again, I said it this morning, I'll say it again, I'm on the Top Floor show, if you see a musician on a live stream and you like what they're doing, just give them a couple of quid. Like if every viewer just spent 2 quid as a little thank you, just here's your 2 quid that I would have spent, at Aldi or wherever.
Because I saw there was a guy I know did a pub quiz and he had 15,000 people watching it.
Wow.
And I just thought, if everybody just gave £1 to PayPal.
Yeah.
Not everyone has to, but if everyone that could just gave £1 to PayPal, he'd have his rent paid for probably the next year.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't
exactly what you want, isn't it? You just want to build that audience. I keep thinking that. I'm like, if I can just get 4,000 people on to give £1, sorted. But it's probably never going to happen.
Difficult on Facebook as well. I tried to do what's it called, like a fundraiser, for the we did, and they're actually cancelling all
Facebook fundraising.
Yeah. Well, not all of it, but they're cancelling Facebook fundraising if they don't deem it an essential
a proper
need.
Charity,
does that make sense?
Do you know what I mean? Like a real thing, as opposed to I just want money.
Are you desperate? Yeah. It's that kind of thing. How desperate are you? And I get it, but then it's kind of, well, how many times people commented on the feed going, how can we donate? How can we donate? And they've got to go to PayPal, they've got to click on the link, they've got to, there's like 4 actions that need to happen whilst they're watching my stream. Whereas if it's on Facebook and they can just click donate, then it's easier.
Yeah, that's the way I did my gig, was with a PayPal link that was. I've just had it again. You see the other. It's scrolling across the bottom now, actually. So across the bottom there, I've got my Patreon and I've got a PayPal link. So if people see it and they want to donate, they can do. I'm not going to force people to. It'd be nice if they did sign up for Patreon. It'd be nice if they did PayPal it, but they don't have to. But if they want to and think, oh, John needs a bit of money, we'll pay. We'll buy him a pint this week. Just put £3 in the bucket. That's the way I'm seeing it.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, I think good things will come. I think it's about finding new avenues, isn't it? Finding
new streams
income
stuff that we're doing. I think it's good. Somebody said to me earlier, it's
good. It's connecting the dots, and it's like, I mean, you and I have met how many times just in passing at the at the pub when I've been hosting an event, but so we get a chance to sit down and have a proper conversation, and I'm guessing it's going to be like that for a lot of people, family,
get to know
friends,
people we've never known.
Yeah, and maybe it will open doors for people, and hopefully will be a nicer place at the end of all of this.
Yeah, we all might be a bit closer. We all might be a bit we'll know each other a bit more. We'll all go. And I think as well, it's forcing. I know the comedians, we're all doing this. We're all sharing everything a lot more now. Before we were quite not insular. We'd share some stuff, but now we're very much just like, oh, I'm going to share that. Share that. Oh, that's so he's putting some stuff out. I'll share that. Everyone's sharing everyone's stuff a lot more than we were before. We were a bit more insular before that.
Yeah, and I think that's really nice.
Yeah, it's a good
thing. That's really nice because I feel like as well, the more that work together and do that, the less that the algorithms can stop us. Does that make sense? It's like the more people that are actually physically doing it, because Facebook they're going to have a right.
They're a nightmare. I've heard so many stories about Facebook and the fact that if you start paying for like adverts, if you then don't pay for an advert for a post, they'll drop that advert that post really far down.
Yeah.
But if you get all your friends and everyone to share it, then they can't stop the interaction that happens and where it goes and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's so true. It's really true. Their algorithms, and also if something else is happening in the world, for example, if
what else is happening in the world at the moment?
Don't know. No, but if Boris is doing his speech, for example, we noticed we did a little experiment. So we did split our live stream in 2. I did it half an hour before Boris talked.
Yeah.
And then for an hour after he talked. So I knew that at the time that Boris was going to do a speech, there was going to be a captive audience on Facebook, and people weren't sure sort of what time he was going to be speaking.
Yeah.
So we hit and was like, well, because you're all on Facebook waiting to see Boris chat, we'll sing you some songs while you're waiting. So before he spoke, we had like hundreds of people. And then as soon as he spoke, we were like, right, we're taking a break. Everybody went and watched the speech, and then we came back. And then we had like a good captive audience for a good hour and a half after, and it dropped about 50%, I'd say, after his speech. But for that first half an hour, it's really interesting to watch.
So what you're saying is you were the support act for Boris?
Yeah.
Love it. What a perfect way to do things.
Singing Bob Marley, every little thing's going to be all right. Don't worry.
Emma and Matt, the support act for the PM. That's amazing.
Do you know the worst thing was though, we weren't paying attention to what he actually said because we were like sorting out bits and bobs on the street. And I put the camera back on, and Pete went, "Has he finished it, or don't we know?" And I was like, "I think he has. It cut off because it was just on in the background." I was like, "Yeah, it cut off." And that was like, "Did he say anything important?" And I was like, "Nah."
Talked about lockdown. That's all he spoke about.
Yeah, just talked about, and then everyone on the stream was going, now, no, he's going to do a lockdown, and Matt, you're going to have to move in with Emma now because you're already in her house. It's just that big debate. And we were just like, oh God, that's really bad. We didn't even listen to what he had to say.
I literally took most of my news from Facebook feed as opposed to watching it. I didn't watch it. I just saw what everyone else started commenting.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
yeah.
Just get on with it. Just get on with it.
Yeah. It's true. Just crack on.
Just crack
what
on.
can we do?
Just do what everyone tells us to do, and then we'll be all right in a few months. 3 months. Do you reckon it'll be 3 months, Emma?
So I reckon, yeah, I think it's going to be a good 6 months before things back to normal.
Yeah.
I think, but I feel like now, if we all sort of abide by the rules and stay grounded, as it were, we might be all right quicker. Yeah, but I feel like as well they've been trying not to use this lockdown too soon. My mum talks about it because she's medical. I mean, she's kind of on the other side of things, so she's kind of, oh Emma, stop it, you know. She's very like,
yeah,
I'm going to work every day and I'm having contact and don't be so melodramatic and it's scaremongering, and she's got a lot of that kind of view. And I'm like, yeah, but have you seen this video? She's like, no, stop watching videos.
My mother-in-law is exactly the same. She watches all these videos on like YouTube and Facebook, and she's like, oh, I've seen the videos from China. They've been killing people in the street. Do you know what I mean? It's all this like really scaremongering sort of like conspiracy theory, basically.
Yeah, and I feel like people are really poorly and people are dying. There's no question about it. However, my mum's point is people with underlying health issues are really struggling with the virus, and I'm going, no, this person had it and she's fine, and I'm going, Emma, she will have had an underlying health issue. You cannot not be fine. You know what I mean? And it's like she's talking about it from a medical.
She's probably just never known she's got an underlying health issue.
Right. Okay.
In the same way, people will be like, "Oh, he's always had a problem with his heart. He just didn't know about it."
Yeah. Well, and there was one guy. Oh, he was 28 and he died, and everyone's like, ah! And then you scroll down and it said he had leukemia, and I was like, oh, okay, that's an underlying health issue.
That's a pretty big one. I'm going to be honest. That's one of the main ones.
Yeah. So, and my mum was kind of saying it would be better if, because we were having this sort of debate, and I was saying if someone could post it through my letterbox and I could just have it and be done, and then I'm immune, and then go out and do what I'm doing. You know what I mean, though? If you could have a choice to have it in a controlled dose, just post it through, off I pop, 2 weeks poorly or whatever, and I could just then go about and help other people and know that I'm immune. You could kind of go and then care for the elderly, or you could go and, do you know what I mean? Go and do those jobs that you're scared to do or you're told not to do because you're in fear of catching it and then spreading it onto somebody else. If you've already had it,
then
you
suppose, but that depends if it takes away you being a carrier as well. That's what you've got to hope, because if you can still have it and carry it,
is it?
I think so. I don't know how if you're immune, whether it works like that. You need to be immune and not a carrier, because you could still carry it.
Yeah, well, that's different then. In that case,
that's killed your theory out the window. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I wish I could just have it.
Back to the drawing board.
I wish I could just have had it, got over it, done it, got on with it.
Yeah, because I feel like there needs to be a healthy part of the population that have had it and then are immune. I don't know.
There will be, and that's why we're doing the whole flattening the curve thing, which everyone keeps talking about.
Yeah. And trying to contain the spread, isn't it?
That's
really
it. Stop the spread, and then hopefully we can still cope with it. Which I spoke to another comic, James Cook. He was talking about it. He's saying that we're not going to actually ever beat the virus. All we're ever going to do is live with it. So it'll just become like the flu, where every sort of winter there's a bit of a flu bug goes around. Everyone gets the flu or a cold or a cough. We'll just live with it for a month, 3-4 days, get over it, then we're okay. That's what's going to happen with this.
Yeah.
We'll just learn to live. Symbiotic relationship. That's what it'll be, a symbiotic relationship.
It's a good word.
Done a lot of reading on it, Emma.
Symbiotic.
Done a lot of reading, trying to make myself look
Have
intelligent.
you?
No, just
You've had too much time on your
got far too much time on my hands. I've worked out how to live stream. I've set a camera up. I've set something else up on my Mac. I've done all this just because I've got fuck all else to do.
You've taught me something today, though. You've taught me that Skype's like Fort Knox. You can't get in.
I love the way you sent me like so many messages just going, what does this mean? It was like, I don't know, Emma. You need to just learn how to use Skype.
Right. You don't. This email address, no, can't use that. This one, you can't. You could use your phone number. No, I was like, oh, this is a bit stressful. When I used to use Skype back in the day, you just clicked on it, pressed the green
maybe
phone,
I'm using
and
an
off you pop.
antiquated system to get people on this. Maybe I should be doing something else.
No, this is good, and I feel like as well for music, what I'm trying to do. There's a piece of software similar called Jam Kazam.
Jam Kazam.
I'm trying to get so that me and my sort of band or musician friends can jam in real time and record it
Across
to post it. That.
That'll
Yeah,
be
no, everything's impossible.
That'll be interesting.
I wonder though if you and I right now sang or played the guitar and you were recording
I can't
it.
play either of them. I can't sing or play the guitar. Sorry, Emma.
That is a problem then.
Yeah, don't use my podcast to try and get your ideas out. What are you doing?
And tune in.
Well, you can plug all you want, Emma. I'm going to wrap it up in a minute, so plug whatever you want to do. Are you doing anything more online?
Yeah, so every Sunday, 8 p.m. on Sunday Sessions UK on Facebook. There'll be a watch party with loads of local musicians, like an open mic online. Join in, get involved.
When you say local, do you mean Derbyshire?
Yes.
Because this is to the world, Emma. This is now. It's not just Derby.
Derbyshire. So sorry. Derby, Derbyshire, Nottingham, maybe a couple of London as well. We're going to see what happens. See how it expands.
I was going to say, how can you get people up? But they're sending videos, aren't they?
Sending them. It's all on Tinternet
now, isn't it?
It's all on Tinternet. The world is my lobster, as my boyfriend would say.
That's funny. That is good. Good. Right. Well, I'm going to go because we've spoken for like 35 minutes now. So this is, we're just waffling on, aren't we?
Yeah, basically. But thanks so much for having me.
It's been good to speak to you, and it's been nice to get your ideas on what's happening. I hope everything works out for you, and I'm sure I'll see you in about 12 weeks.
I hope so. We should do like a combined comedy music thing.
As soon as the bars reopen,
it's gonna be manic, isn't it?
We'll do some sort of massive collaboration day. We'll do like a festival. Yeah,
shall we?
Organise a Derby festival.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Try it. We'll try that out. We'll stick that online now, so now everyone's going to know.
Amazing. Save the date.
Right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up, but I'll speak to you in a bit, Emma. Thank you very much for being on, everyone. That was Emma Buckley, everybody. So say goodbye to Emma.
Bye.
So that was Emma Buckley on the Isolated Home podcast. Thank you very much for listening. As always, they've still across the bottom. You've got the scrolling bar, which has got the Patreon and the PayPal in there. If you want to bung some money in any of those, that'd be lovely. If you want to bung some money in the PayPal, if you bung it in and stick a note on it to say that you listened to whatever episode, who was on it, then I will make sure that they get some of that money. We'll split it 50-50. So we'll do that with all the people that we're talking to. So we're going to go. Thank you very much for being around and keep listening to the pod. Watch it on YouTube. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it on Podbean. I'm not going to put the links. You'll see them all over social media. But I've been John Pearson. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye.